Hey everybody, it is Dry Fire Monday, and this week we start putting it all together into a complete draw presentation and first shot, which I think is the most important skill that any self-defender has. So we're gonna work on it together this week. I'm gonna give you a couple of tips to make it a little bit easier for you and make you a little bit better. So let's get better with our dry fire. The Mantis X firearms training system attaches to any gun with a rail and to your phone via Bluetooth to track barrel movement every shot you take. Use it to help you be the most accurate, fastest shot you possibly can in a defensive encounter. I use it in my training all the time. So mea culpa, right off the bat, you guys know Mantis is a unit that I am incredibly impressed with, and they are the sponsors of our dry fire videos, and so I just want you all to go and thank them for it, man. They have provided for us to do these every week. Motivation to get in there, the app is incredibly useful, and as we're working on the draw, the way that you would normally do that is you would put your Mantis unit on your magazine plate. They don't fit right now in most light-bearing holsters, so you put it on the mag plate. But, you know, I carry an HK, and so they don't have one for mine right now. So I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way to kind of show how we're going to do this. But if you have a Glock or an S&W or whatever, you can get the magazine floor plate adapter and then run this, and your Mantis unit can actually time your dry fire draw to presentation apps. The way that I would do that is I would use the compressed surprise break timer and the test there on the compressed surprise break. When you do that, it gives you a beep. Now, of course, it's expecting like 0.18, 0.25, 0.35, something like that. But then you can use that beep to go and drive your dry fire, get a shot, get a picture of exactly how that shot went. Incredibly useful tool. For me this week, I am using a barrel block. So you can see I've got a mag block in there so that I'm safe with the gun, and you can see that the gun has been barrel blocked as well. They can't load around in there, and that's incredibly important, because you don't want to turn your dry fire dojo into a live fire dojo. That would be bad. So make sure that your gun's clear, do all that stuff so that you're safe with your dry fire. One of the reasons I do like the mag block here is that once I load that guy in, I know that this is safe. This is now a training tool. When I get done, click, I just run the slide, and I don't have to worry about dropping with my slide release. I just, go to work and go from there. It's good. Okay, so let's go through the rudiments, the basics of your full draw stroke. So from concealment, right, I'm wearing kind of my normal everyday stuff here. I'm a polo shirt, and I kind of wear these, cargo pants kind of guy. This is my regular everyday leave the house ensemble, and that's what I want you to practice in. Don't want you to practice in your range gear. I mean, if you're doing USPSA or something and you want to work on your draw to first shot in your USPSA gear, that's awesome, I totally get it. But for most of us, we're concealed carriers. So work out of your concealed gear. Work with what you carry every day. I carry my VP9 every single day with my RMR on it, and so that's what I practice with every single day. I'm working to transition over to a P30. That's a story for another day. So work in your EDC carry. Now here's how we're going to work on our draw. At the start, you can work this in Mantis in open training if you want. If you want to work on it, slow fire first. Now, of course, eventually we want to get a little faster, but let's start first with slow fire. So all I'm going to do is wherever my hands go, I'm gonna work on a solid, quality, repeatable draw. Now, if I'm carrying appendix like this, I'll show you strong side in a little bit. But if I'm carrying appendix like this, like I normally do, what I want to show you is how is that going to go for you. So a lot of people are going to tell you to get the hem here, that we go back and we get the hem. And I'm going to tell you why I don't do the hem personally. I don't care if you do, but I personally don't do the hem, because in practicing my dry fire one day, I reached for my hem center line and I punched myself square in the twig and berries. And that was a bad day. So I don't do that anymore. I instead go for the belly button. And this is also something that was taught to me by Scott Jedlinski, is these are my proprioceptive indices. These are the places that my body knows already. It doesn't know how long this shirt is. This shirt could be a little longer or a little shorter, and so then I'd have a different place to grab the hem. But my belly button's always in the same place, and so I gotta grab it. And yes, you can make the fat jokes if you want, that I got plenty of belly button, but even if you are flat-bellied like we all should be, I'm working on it, then we can grab at the belly here and grab a handful. Now, I do wear an undergarment under my polo shirt. That's an everyday thing for me. If it's not for you, well then maybe I'll do it without that. If I'm gonna do a ton, if I'm gonna do 50, 60 draws, then I'll put on an undershirt that's not cotton like this, that's a little bit more slippy, so I don't have to tuck it in quite so frequently. Otherwise, it's the same thing. So, I can start with my hands at my side, whatever. I can start in the surrender position. I can grab the bill of my hat. I don't care where you start. Just don't start in the tactical turtle. You know, you see this one sometimes, the guy's like, shooter ready, stand by. Ooh, I'm right here. Well, okay, that might give you the best case scenario. However, it's not super realistic. So I either kind of shake my arms out and start at my side, or sometimes I'll start in this surrender position. Hey man, I don't want any problems or whatever. So this is what we're gonna do. Now you understand I'm left-handed. So I go with my support hand, grab a fistful and bring it right up here to my sternum. So this is where I need to be. I don't need to be way up here by my neck, and I don't want to just barely try to clear. I want to get nice and clear of my gun with my cover garment, and that's where I start here. So I go clear my cover garment while my other hand goes and gets a full hand of gun. Now here's one where I'm going to tell you that you need to decide, am I a beginning to low intermediate shooter or am I a low intermediate to advanced shooter? Because if you are a beginning to low intermediate shooter, and by that, let's say that a beginning shooter, of course, has almost no training from the draw. You know, you've taken your CCW class maybe. To a low intermediate shooter has maybe had 2 or 3 classes after their CCW class. So they came back for like a CCW skills class, and then they went to a defensive pistol class, and then maybe they took a regional to national trainer 1 class. That would be kind of where you are. If you're intermediate to advanced, you're taken beyond that. You're kind of a training junkie. You can document, say, more than 25 hours of formal firearms training, okay? So that's where we are. A beginning shooter, I'm gonna tell you, use your thumb. Drive this up here and then drive your thumb back behind the gun to get a high tang grip. That's the most reliable way to get a high tang grip, and if you're a beginning shooter, that's how you do it. If you are, you know, an intermediate to low advanced shooter, then what we're gonna do is we come here and we get thumb, not quite thumb over back plate like this. I like to do the inside sight, and I learned that from Jedi, okay? So inside sight, that's how we get that. So back to the draw stroke. Here we go. I'm in my spot. I get my cover garment cleared, get my garment, get my thumbs and my hands in the right spot, drive the gun out and get a good click. Reset my trigger. Good. It was a good rep. That's all I wanted to do. I'm just working all the way through all my mechanics. So whenever I feel that beep, I go, all right, here I am, and go. Drive the gun out, good. Got a good sight picture, felt good about my target, felt good about what I was seeing. So if I'm gonna kind of go here, I have my dry fire dojo and my target set up over here. You can see me from this side. I'm just gonna go, oh, okay, cool. Get a hold of the gun, drive the gun out, get a good shot. I saw my sights, my RMR like I wanted, saw my dot, everything looks good. Put the gun away safely. Here we go, got it again, drive the gun out, see the sights, and get after it. Now, something I'm going to encourage you to do then. Safely, carefully, tap, look, safely reholster your firearm. It can be a challenge for those of us who are fluffy around the middle, but do the best you can. If you're carrying your firearm strong side, I move the gun over to strong side here. Use the same holster just because it's easier for me. But if you're carrying the gun strong side, you're basically doing the same thing. The only difference is instead of going to your belly button here, you gotta come over kind of as far as you can. And again, get that full hand. I don't like going to the hem, I don't like going that far, but come over here, kind of, you know, grab your other side here and pull up and away. So that same thing then from there. If I'm gonna aim this way, again, gun is in a safe training condition. I reach over, pull the gun out, get the gun, drive the gun forward, get a good shot. Then I reset the trigger, look my gun, tap, safely reholster, so I'm not pointing a gun at myself. So if you're not using your Mantis app, and you can use your phone, I'm using my phone to record right now, so I can't use that, so I'm gonna use a pocket timer. I really recommend a shot timer anyways. This is a Pocket Pro 2. So the advanced level is you start giving yourself a little bit of pressure, a little bit of time pressure to get your gun out and in the fight. We're gonna start today at a 2-second evolution. We're going to start and say 2 seconds from the draw to the shot is how fast I want to go. How fast is that going to look? Well, I'll show you. So I put my timer on my spot. What I do is I give it what I'm looking for, and this is what it's going to look like. So that shot was right on the beep, and you saw that. I wasn't working fast, I wasn't going real hard. I just took my time, got everything out. I have to reset my cover garment here. Look, gotta go a little high because of the barrel block. And that's what we wanna do. So you start inserting a little bit of speed. Now we'll work on speed in weeks to come, and we have a lot of things to work on to get fast with our draw. But here's what I want you to do, especially if you have that Mantis magazine attachment, put that sucker on there, use that compressed surprise break, 200 reps this week. That's quite a few. That's about 30 concealed draws every single day. I think you can do that. And all I want to do this week is I want to work on them fluidly and get them to where I am doing it without a hitch. So really all I'm looking for this week is I see my target, I go, okay, whatever it is, if I want to use a beep like my timer, that's fine. 1, 2, drive the gun out, see it and go. I hadn't reset my trigger like a goofball, okay? Try it again. Here we go. I got a reset trigger. Feeling good. Go get it. Drive the gun out. Get a click. Yup, saw my target. Saw everything I needed to. Reset my trigger. Got a second sight picture. Put the gun away. Reset everything. If I have to reset my undergarments, my cover garments, whatever. Feel good about it. 200 times this week. This is the preeminent, this is the biggest, most important skill that you need as a CCW holder. The ability to get the gun out on target and put the first shot right where you want it every time. And so this skill starts putting together everything we've been working on. So do it 200 times this week and let me know how it goes.